If you're manufacturing or industrial, here's everything that you need to know about LinkedIn in an hour and 20 minutes. All right, let's get into the comments. Throw them up on the screen and see who screams.
All right, so Sarah Coleman says she's going all in on LinkedIn, but wants more results.
Let's go, Sarah. If you want more results, we might need to set up a quick strategy call. So, Sarah, if you're interested in having a quick strategy call, go through what you're doing, what's working, what's not working. I'll dive into it with you. Shoot me a DM, and we can get that thing booked. Quick 20-minute, 30-minute call. Glad to do it for you. Let's go.
Ryan Weber says, how long into using LinkedIn did you really start to see results?
Yeah, so Ryan, it took me probably, you got to remember, I'm going back to 07 when the stuff was created, 07, 08, 09. Once I said I'm going all in on this thing, it was probably about maybe 90 days. But these days, so if I did it all over again, these days, you'll start to see some results within probably 30 to 45, probably half that amount of time, as long as you're connecting with the right people. So I would say give it a quarter, go all in, and all in, I mean all in. I didn't even go into how to dominate on LinkedIn with posting content, shooting your own videos, all that stuff. I'm sure somebody will ask that question. When you're producing your own content and the company stuff and sharing it out there, building your network, that's what I consider going all in. 90 days, and I promise that you'll get some results from it.
Alrighty, Rigo In asks, is Sales Navigator a $99 one-time fee?
Nope, $99 a month, man, but it's well worth it. If I only had $100 to spend as a sales tool, let me back up. Yeah, no, if I had $115 to spend as a sales tool, I'd buy only two systems. Number one, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Number two, a HubSpot license for $15, so I can start organizing all these people. If I got $150, $160 to spend, Sales Navigator, HubSpot, plus this third-party automation tool, the secret one. Get it for less than $100.
Tim Drinkwater's back.
Drinkwater, what's up, Drinkwater? Drinkwater's on every single live commenting. Love the engagement. That's what I mean. If Tim hit me up and said, hey, Kyle, can you do me a favor? I'd say, whatever you need, man. I got you.
He asks, how much does time of day impact post engagement?
I don't really believe in that. As far as time of day, I usually typically say, there's people in the morning when they're getting their day started, even before they leave work, that are on there. People around lunchtime, people in the evening, 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night. That's the general thing. In general, also, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the best days to post on LinkedIn. But the time we've tested it, our team posts 5 times a day for me. And there isn't this one, because it was posted at 10:26, was better. Hootsuite and all the posting platforms that you can schedule it through will be based on our algorithm, we can, if you post it at 10:19 on a Tuesday, this is what we're seeing gets the most engagement. That's BS. I'm sure that there is something to support it, but I've never seen it.
All right, and Lee Shawback is here.
Lee Shawback, what's up, Lee? I've known Lee for a long time.
And he says, research your competition to see what they're doing on LinkedIn. I just did that on 70 injection molders in Illinois and Wisconsin and found that only 15% of those companies posted more than 3 times on their company page.
There you go, dude. And so what Lee's doing there is he's looking at his competition saying, what are they doing so I know what they're not doing? What they're not doing is being consistent and dig into it. Let's say if they're posting 3 times a week, what are they posting? Is it just check out this page, check out this page? You drop a video in there consistently, like a strategy like what we create for our clients. These things you're posting on these days, articles, videos, social graphics, long form posts going back to the website, all that stuff, that's how you stand out. So super smart. Same thing with that. To follow up on that, Lee, look at your competitors, marketers, and salespeople, right? For you salespeople out there that are like, I'm a VP of sales, I'm a sales engineer, whatever, go look at one of your top competitors, go view their salesperson's profile and see what they're doing. So you can see what not to do, which is going to be nothing because most people do nothing.
Tim has another question. How long should you wait between recycling a post?
Okay, so great question for those that don't have an agency like ours that are posting new content every single week. Do you post it? How long until you recycle? I would say like give it 2 weeks. Depends on the post. If it's just a graphic, I mean, you could do it sooner, but it also depends on how many people are following. So there's a lot of depends in there. But I would say every 2 weeks, roughly 2-3 weeks maybe. What else we got?
No more questions at the moment, but a lot of people want that video info on how to automate. They want to be a part of that group.
All right, you guys want those videos on how to automate them. My sales guys are going to go through here, put a comment back to you, hit you up directly so we can get a group together. We'll give you the tool, and then what we'll probably end up doing, Laura, make a note that we're going to need to set up some sort of like private Zoom webinar type thing. If you guys are in sales or if you're looking to so we have this thing, Industrial Sales Accelerator. We meet weekly on Fridays where I go through topics. This type of stuff is one of those topics that we talk about because I can't post everything out there publicly on social because sometimes you might get in trouble for it. So I don't want to give away every single secret because I don't want to get banned by anybody. But if you guys are interested in that, put in the comment section, I want in ISU, Industrial Sales University. I can send you a link to join our Friday calls where we go through stuff like this. For those of you that aren't going to be in the Friday calls, we'll just do a private Zoom meeting where you guys come in. I'll go live, share some tools, some tricks, whatever with that tool, show you how to set it up, and then go from there.
Sai Bhavana Mehta says that she's made great connections through this channel.
Yeah. Was she the one that was on last week? Saying, yeah, so she's perfect example. She's going to school for, I think, marketing. She comes across my content. She's like, man, Kyle makes industrial marketing look cool. I want to go in industrial marketing. I'm impacting lives, and that's what makes me happy to produce more and more content. So now she's deep into it. So she's using LinkedIn. She's making connections. That's what it's all about. Make connections. I remember back when it was like, don't send a connection request to anybody that you didn't meet in person. That is such BS. I connect with anybody that's in the space that I could provide value to. I connect with them. Realtors in New York? Nope. Anybody in B2C? Nope. Anybody that's like, they put Lion in their profile, which says LinkedIn Open Network, LION, something like that. I don't connect with anybody like that. I'm just trying to provide value.
Brittany Wright says, I fail at consistency. What system free or affordable for content calendars?
So for content calendars, I think that you can use HubSpot's social scheduling posts for free. But keep in mind, LinkedIn has scheduling available in it. When you go to post, instead of send, you can say schedule for later and you can put it on a date. So what I would do, Brittany, for you and for anybody looking at this is I would say, all right, I can't post 3 times a week. I can't post 5 times a week because I'm busy doing all of these different things, right? At the personal level, I would say post maybe twice a week. Maybe it's once a week to start and be like, all right, what am I going to post for the next 4 weeks? And then just create those posts, schedule them out through LinkedIn. That's free, right? Or maybe if you have HubSpot free, you can schedule out through their social platform. But you just want to schedule it out there, create the content, do it maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month at a time. So that way you can set it and forget it and then put it on your calendar. You need to create the next content calendar, schedule those things 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks before the month is over. You want to do that again. So I would just use LinkedIn's or something like HubSpot's social. I'm going to share the secrets on how LinkedIn made me $1.6 million in 3 years and how I continue to scale it every single day. What you heard in the beginning is not a lie. I have made over $1.6 million from LinkedIn in the past 3 years, and it wasn't them paying me as an influencer. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. I make a lot of content every single week. No different than a lot of people that are watching this. I, at one point in time, did not have a lot of LinkedIn followers, LinkedIn connections, and wasn't doing much on LinkedIn. But I made a change about 5 years ago to really dive deep into it and say, how am I gonna figure out how to make this algorithm on this platform work for me? Because I'm in B2B and I need to make sure that I am connecting with people and trying to use it as a sales resource. Fast forwarding to where we're at today, I have over 20,000 followers, and you guys may be thinking, Kyle, that's not a lot of followers. Yes, it's not, but I am in a niche and I only connect and allow people to connect with me that are within that niche that I can provide value to. On the flip side of that, I get over 100,000 impressions on my profile every single month, but the key is that my impressions are not me just sharing out content that was trending on some other thing, and I'm not like most people in my space that are a pretty girl in a man's world that are posting selfies with some BS type of content to it to get 200 likes and get their followers up, as well as their impressions. So 100,000 impressions a month for me is actively engaged content, and we create a lot of content every single day, and this is the key strategy as to how we went from LinkedIn providing zero revenue for my business to over 1.6 million. Now, before we jump deep into it, all I want you to do is just give me 6 months of doing this strategy, and I 100% can guarantee you that you will receive massive results with this if you follow it to a T. So if you're ready to jump into it, let's dive in. Step number 1 is going to be optimize your profile. I have a video here that talks about profile optimization, so I'm not gonna jump into it in depth, but this is the place to start. You have to look at your headshot, your background shot, your public URL. Make sure that you are being found on all the search engines, turn everything on from a public profile standpoint. Go through your summary, your work history, your links, everything in between. Watch that video and I break it down. Do that first before you do anything else, because that is going to directly affect your results in these steps. The main key to it, after you've got everything updated, the main key and most important part from my experience is going to be your headline. What is your headline? When you send a connection request to somebody, they see your picture, they see your name, and they see your headline. Most people have their headline as the default, which is your current job position at your current company. You have to change that. If you get nothing else from that video that I linked you to, how to optimize your profile, you have to update your headline and make it specific to something that is going to catch their attention, be relevant, and get somebody to think, to say, oh, this is standing out. Now I want to dive deeper and look at this person's profile. The next step, number 2, is going to be you have to create valuable content every single day and then post that content, ideally, if you want to scale quickly, 3 to 5 times a day. Now you may be thinking, Kyle, there's no way possible that I can create that much content. That is a lie. You can. A lot of times people can't see the forest for the trees and they think, I only know a little bit. You know a ton. If you really break it down in your area and your expertise, there's so much value that you have between your ears, but you just don't realize it because this is something that you've been doing every single day. But if you take a step back or bring a third party in, have them ask you questions, you explain how to do something, you can break out so many pieces of content. Now, if you work for a big company, hopefully they're producing content, and you just need to be able to take their content and post it on your own profile every single day. If you're like, dude, I have no time to do it 3 times a day, well, then you're not really committed to turning this into a big revenue stream. As you build your company, if you're a business owner, you need to build a team around this, because LinkedIn in B2B is everything that you need to be able to grow and scale whatever businesses that you have. But it has to start with content. If you're like, I don't want to do content, but I'll do everything else, stop right there. This is not going to work. Close your laptop and move on to somebody that's going to feed you some BS about how you can grow and scale without producing content. I guarantee you will not see the results. All you're going to do is waste time. So like I said, give me 6 months with this strategy and I promise you will see massive results. And step number 3, you need to send out connection requests every week. Right now it's 100 connection requests that LinkedIn allows you to cap at. Sometimes you can get away with 150 or 200. They're playing around with their algorithm. Who knows what it is when you're watching this? The point is hit your head on the ceiling of the max connection requests you can send. The key though is only send connection requests to those that are relevant. It's not a numbers game. It's not, let me see how many connections I can get. Well, I've got 30,000, or I'm a lion, which is LinkedIn Open Network. People are still doing that. And they're like, I'm a lion, and I put in my profile title, and look at, I've got 30,000 followers, 30,000 connections. That is not relevant. I would rather take 1,000 relevant connections than 10,000 unrelevant. The rest of these steps depend on you for being connected with relevant people. So be strategic with your searches. If you need to, go in and buy LinkedIn Sales Navigator to create massive filtered searches so you can get down to the job function, the category, the geographic location, how long they've been with somebody. And the key with that is on Sales Navigator, you'll be able to say, show me people that are active within the past 30 days on LinkedIn. You do not want to send connection requests to people that aren't active, right? Ideally, the people you're connected with are active every single day, because that is how you're going to be able to provide them with value, and eventually, as they have a need, you can be there for the solution. So purchasing LinkedIn Sales Navigator for 70, 80 bucks a month is critical to this, and you need to build a search with strategic filters to go after the exact relevant people. Once you do that, then you just send them connection requests. Once you got your searches built out, it's 1,000 people, it's 2,000, 5,000 people. Every single week, send out the max connection requests you can from LinkedIn, and they will, as long as your profile is optimized and you're relevant to the industry, you will see about a 30 to 40% success rate of people accepting those, and eventually people will send you connection requests, and that is the ultimate goal. The fourth step is gonna be you have to engage with your audience, with your connections every single day. Spend 30 to 45 minutes going through your feed. Again, because these people are relevant, because they're relevant to what it is that you do, the service that you offer, the products that you sell, it's relevant to them, and not by a stretch, it's very relevant to them. You engaging with their content, liking it, commenting, as you scroll through your homepage feed, that is going to get them to then look at your profile. That will then get them to pay closer attention to what you're posting, and you get that engagement back and forth with them. But don't do it strictly from I'm only gonna engage with you because I want you to buy something from me. You need to be sincere about this. You should be engaging with people to try and help them. If you don't wanna help them, they're not gonna buy from you. Don't be sleazy about it. Engage because you care, but commenting, liking, sharing people's posts, especially those people in those industries and job functions that typically don't get a lot of engagement, where it's maybe something that they made and they only get a couple of likes, you consistently showing them that will show them that you're a fan of theirs, and in turn, they will pay closer attention to your content. But you have to do it every single day. The fifth step is gonna be send valuable content to your connections through LinkedIn messages. What you don't want to do is connect with somebody and then give them a sales pitch. That will not work. That's what a lot of people say. Connect with them, a week later, send them something salesy. You have to do it from the basic standpoint of jab, 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 right hook, written by Gary Vaynerchuk, which is give, then ask. And I switch it up a little bit where it's give, and then you're slightly kind of asking. You're not going in for the hard ask, the hard sell, unless it's relevant and you know for a fact that you can help them. But you want it to be able to share relevant content. That goes back to point number 2, creating content every single day. They're not gonna see your content every day. They have 100, 1,000, 5,000 other connections that they're seeing their content in their feed. They're not paying attention to your 3 to 5 posts a day. They're probably not even seeing most of it, but as they go throughout the week, hopefully if you get engagement on your post, then they'll see it. So you can use and recycle that content that you create. If you create a long video like I'm doing here, this can be then sent to a strategic target demographic within my LinkedIn connections and be able to send it to them through messages. You need to do this 3 times. Have some sort of valuable piece of content and send it to them in a message saying, hey Joe, hey Susie, just wanted to share this piece of content with you. I thought you'd get some value out of it, or someone that you know would get some value out of it. I hope you have a great rest of your week. This is what works. You want to give value first before you ask for anything in return. So having that batch content and all of that library of it, and highlighting what can I send to people, a link to a YouTube video you did, a link to an article you wrote, an ebook that you're offering for free, not asking for their phone number, email address, first name, last name, just for free, sending it through LinkedIn. This is where it's going to work the best, and this is how you're gonna be able to hit that goal of getting 7 figures of revenue from a social platform. A pro tip for those out there that are into automation, there are LinkedIn automation tools out there that you can use. I'm not gonna dive into it because it's frowned upon by LinkedIn. So just do some quick searches. There's a couple out there that I personally really like. There's some of the bigger ones, but figure out an automation solution that works for you to where you can automate the process of sending out connection requests and sending out messages. If you have thousands upon thousands of followers and connections and you want to go through them quickly, there is no physical way, unless you hire somebody strictly to do that 8 to 10 hours a day. There's no way to go through it that fast. So you using an automation tool to be able to send out that content 7 days a week is critical and is a pro tip that can get you to your results faster. Just don't abuse it. The 6th step is going to be send a soft sales pitch. That's after you sent 3 to maybe even 4 pieces of valuable content first. And you want to say, hey, if you ever have a need for this, if you're ever in the area for that, do you guys use any of these services? Are you in this industry? If you are and you want to have a quick conversation, we work with people like that a lot. Here's a link to my calendar. That's when you go into a soft sell. Hey, here's something that I wanted you to look at. It's our equipment list. If you guys have a need for any of this type of equipment, let me know, and then say I appreciate being connected with you on LinkedIn. Doing that once out of 4, 25% of the time, is a lot better than doing it the second message. So you send them a piece of valuable content, and then you send them a right hook and going in for the sale. That does not work. Again, guys, I'm just sharing this based on what worked for me and what was proven to work, and we are scaling this every single day. That number of 1.6 million is only a moment in time. Every single week we get new people coming in, and the types of clients that we work with, we're not talking we're selling them a $2,000 program. Because we are an industrial marketing agency, our programs are typically anywhere from $50,000, $60,000 a year up to the $300,000, $400,000 a year. So the people that we're connecting with on LinkedIn that are coming into our sales funnel are high decision makers at large companies in our niche that are spending significant amounts of money. So this is not strictly a tactic to use on people that are selling a $59 item. This is some high ticket stuff as well. Now, on a weekly, daily basis, you have to go back and repeat steps 1 through 5 every single day. That's why I said give me 6 months. If you do this for 6 months, 5 days a week, where you're engaging with people, sending connection requests, sending content, and then even on the weekends, go in and engage with people on Saturday and Sunday too, or send them a message. You have to think about the people. What are they doing on these days? What are they doing at these times based on their job function? Even on the weekend, we've seen great results. We're sending out content on the weekend. It's not like you're interrupting their day, right? They're on social media or they're with their family and they get a notification and maybe they're bored, maybe they got a break in their day and they just want to listen to something or watch something. You sending them that on a weekend can provide a decent amount of traction because not a lot of people are doing it. But you have to repeat this every single day for 6 months, steps 1 through 5. That is the key of what's going to make this work. If you just try it out for 30 days and say it's not working fast enough, then you go outside of the strategy, then you're sending sales related stuff, then people are getting pissed off, not connecting with you back, or removing connections with you, telling you to stop selling to them, telling you to stop bothering them. That is what is gonna fail. You have to have patience here. 6 months, I guarantee you from where you start to where you end up in 6 months, you could be $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 of new revenue in the bank based on what you sell. But you have to commit to the 6 months, do steps 1 through 5, and I promise you will see massive results. The last thing is gonna be you have to track all of your new deal lead sources. New deals, new opportunities, track where they came from, pin it back to LinkedIn or website or referral. You have to be tracking your deal sources because that's the only way you're gonna be able to see what's working and what's not. So as new opportunities come in, ask them how they found you. Hopefully it's on your form or your calendar booking. Ask them how they found you, and you would be surprised that somebody that says, oh, you know, I did, on a form they say web search, or they come in through the website. But when you have an actual conversation with them, if that's how your business is, which I'm assuming it is because it is B2B, when you have an actual conversation with them, then you say, how did you find us? Oh, I saw some of your content on LinkedIn, or oh, hey, we're connected with you on LinkedIn, or my colleague saw some content. That is the true source of that deal. Even if they then went to the website 3 months later, they first saw your content on LinkedIn, which then drove them to look you up, which then brought them to your website, and they created an opportunity from there. You have to track this. This is the only way, as you're going through doing this, if you're impatient like most people, and I've been impatient throughout my life as well, as you're going through this, you need some wins to keep you driving and moving forward. Tracking those deal sources, seeing that LinkedIn has created a couple of deals for you, maybe it's in the 3rd or 4th or 5th month, you got 1, 2, 3 deals. You would not have those deals if you did not implement these strategies and tactics. You can associate that to it, that revenue source, close that deal, it's made you money. Once it's made you money, now you can justify the time and possibly the money if you have an internal team, the time and money and resources that you spend into creating the content, doing the effort on LinkedIn, and eventually maybe 20, 30, 40% of your deals will be coming from LinkedIn. And then you're at, oh man, we've made $1 million in the past year from LinkedIn, and the resources that we spend towards it are only $50,000, $70,000. So it's a massive multiplier of money in versus money out. But if you're not doing it every single day, you will see none of the results. If you have been using LinkedIn as a sales resource to build prospect lists and do lead generation, then in this episode, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to update your profile to get the most attention and have the most amount of success in 2022.
Gladiator in this art of war. What you think that I've been fighting for? Got a cape on like a superhero. They rushing at me like a matador. Nah, I don't need your energy. I don't need the negativity. I'm just trying to bring my people up. Promise y'all I got the remedy. Straight to the roof, tell them we bringing the troops. We got a little surprise, you thinking that we ain't the truth. We give it 120, we never make an excuse. So go run and tell everybody down that we coming for you.
Okay, so you're looking at your normal LinkedIn feed. The first thing you want to do is click on your profile to get into the back end. Okay, and it's showing that I'm live, and we definitely don't want to click that because we will get some picture in picture. So right here in the top, you're going to want to update and edit your public profile. Let me just flip back to make sure you're seeing that. So by default, this URL is going to have your first name dash last name, things like that. You're going to want to update this pencil icon and put in whatever if ideally, if you can put first name, last name, that's great. Save that. Next thing you want to do is go into your visibility. So your visibility is where you're basically saying, is your, like, who can see your public profile? And if you're going at it from a sales standpoint, then you want to try and make everything public, right? You want to be able to show up on Google search engines. You want Google to be able to index your profile. Anything that you do, you want to show up. So by default, there's a lot of things that aren't checked. I basically leave everything open. So my profile's public visibility is wide open. I click here down in the public section. I'm showing everything: background photo, headlines, website, summary, all of that stuff there. You can create a badge, but it's not really necessary. But you guys can kind of take this with your own personal preference and say, do you want to show everything or not? That's kind of up to you. So I personally just show everything. So once you get that done, that's kind of like the baseline of showing who's going to be able to see your profile. So we'll close out of there. Once you get into this section, you're going to want to hit the pencil icon. And some of you are like, dude, I already know how to do this. We'll get into the beef of it in about 10 seconds to show you the value here. So you hit that pencil profile, and this is where you're going to edit your intro, your headline, your current position, all that stuff, education, location. The most important thing is your headline. Let me repeat that again. The most important thing is your headline. The headline is essentially what it is what value you could provide to your potential new network connection in a short snippet. And so by default, LinkedIn is showing that your headline, which shows up here, by default, it's going to say your job title and the company that you work at. Now, when you're sending out connection requests, you're not going to be you're not going to be just sending it out to people and have them say, oh, I know who this person is and the company that they work at. It's going to be a little bit more. Are we getting a little bit of a glitch? There we go. Getting a little bit of a glitch there. So they're not going to know who you are. You know what I mean? Unless you work at a huge company, massive company, then they will know who you are. But for the most part, they're not going to know who you are just by saying, like, I'm Kyle Milan and I work at ABC company and I'm in sales or I'm in marketing. Like, that doesn't do you any good. What you have to do is update this headline to talk in general terms and be relevant to the audience and to the potential person that you're trying to connect with. So if you're doing machining, you're doing injection molding, you're doing robotics, you're doing corrugated, you're doing chemicals, you're doing AI, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to be creative with the headline. Now, by default, it only shows like the first half of it or so. So you got to be strategic. It allows you a certain amount of characters, and then it'll run out of space. So if I tried to keep on typing in here, then eventually, if I tried to save this, it's going to say, nope, you've ran out of characters. Please try again. But you want it to be relevant. So like what it is that we do, what it is that I do, technical sales and marketing for industrial manufacturing companies. If I send you a connection request and you are in either technical sales, industrial marketing, you work for a manufacturing company, you're going to see my picture, you're going to see that headline, and you're going to think, this guy is somewhat relevant. Let me at least click into his profile. That's all you're trying to do. The only purpose of the headline, like anything that you're doing from a marketing standpoint with graphics in somebody's newsfeed on LinkedIn, is you're trying to stop them and pause them from clicking ignore and get them to take a second look at your profile and dive in deeper. So showing you some quick examples of that. If I look at my network and people have sent me connection requests, I can see Will Clark, marketing account executive at Plastic City and Plastic Media, right? He didn't send a personalized message with it, but he's got his title and where he works at it. It's going to cut off. This guy sending me a connection request, it's cutting off. So you're looking at maybe 80 characters or so, 90 characters. This is on a desktop or a laptop. On your mobile, it's probably going to be a little bit less, maybe half of that. But you want to make sure that your headline is shown and getting to the point quickly. So that way somebody says, oh, he's in this industry. It's relevant to what I do, whether you're an engineer, operations, purchasing, no matter what industry you're in, you have to make it relevant. It could be something like helping companies overcome their issues with industrial automation, helping companies overcome issues, or solving problems in the aerospace industry using advanced 3D printing. Whatever it is, you have to get creative. You can look at other people in the market. You can look at other people that you compete with and see what they're putting, but you got to get creative there. Your profile picture, that goes without saying, it should be some sort of good, clean, clear profile picture. It does not have to be professionally done. Your background image, which right now it's showing the live link to the show, but the background image, that could be personal. I don't think it has to be business related. I think it could be personal. It could be, if you like skiing, show some pictures of mountains that you've skied. If you're into fishing, it's perfectly fine to have that up there. Now, for most people that are in sales, they're going to put something relevant, some sort of background image that's relevant to what they're trying to do. If they're using their profile from a sales standpoint, or even marketing people from a marketing standpoint, they're going to want to have some type of graphic that represents that. You can pull something from your company website. LinkedIn will automatically resize it. You can shrink it. You can make it bigger. All those things. But you want to have something there. You do not want it to just be strictly dead space, because it just makes your profile not look complete. So after you get into the headline, then you can get into providing services. So you can add your services here, and you could talk in the about section. What is it that your services do? Work location, things like that. Then you can get in, and this is that section that pops up. Going back to my profile real quick. So next section is going to be adding license or search. You can do that if it's applicable. Going into the analytics and your resources. Now we get into the featured section. Okay, so the featured section is important because this is where you can link things, whether they're videos, articles, things like that your company's done, things that you've done. You want to fill this out, and it's really easy. Just by clicking the plus button, you can add a post, an article, a link, an image, whatever it is that you want to do. And then people will be able to see these, and then they can scroll through and look at different things. So right now we have 8 featured pieces of content on my profile, and we change this frequently because we want to make sure that it stays relevant. But you want to put something there. The whole purpose here is when somebody clicks on your profile and they start scrolling, you want to make sure that it's filled out, that it's not just a blank, I worked at this company with this job. I have nothing featured. There's no about section, nothing like that. And so you want to make sure that everything's filled out. Like, even if you didn't create the content yourself, even if it's content that your company has created, you still want to throw that up there and link it, because you're trying to drive attention, brand awareness to you as a personal brand, to your company, if you're doing sales and marketing. So put stuff up there to allow people to click through. The next section is just going to be your activity and stuff that you've posted. Then you get into the about section. So filling this out, the key here is taking up the vertical space. Okay, so you do not want multiple sentences. Let me try and do this all at the same time. You don't want all this stuff run together and then like that, and then adding, like, you don't want it to look like that. You want it to be filled out and taking up the full vertical space that's in here. I'm going to discard those changes. And you want it to be, allow content to breathe and the room to breathe within this section. You want to fill up the vertical space as much as possible. Add bullet points. You can grab these little icons. They're just little HTML icons. You can Google search for them. You can go basic and add bullet points down here. You can fix grammar issues that we have. But that's the key there. Is the about section is going to talk a little bit about you, a little bit about what it is that makes you different, experience that you have. It does not have to be super lengthy. You can just put a few sentences, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs spread out vertically, and then add some quick bullet points in, whether it's you're pushing for your company brand, you want to talk about you service these industries, you solve these issues, things like that. A lot of people aren't going to click into the about section and open this thing wide up. A lot of people are just focusing on the top sections, and then where do you currently work at and what do you do? This is another issue that I see all the time, especially with technical sales guys. You get lazy, and you get lazy with filling this stuff out. So you want to talk about, want to make sure that you're linking to the right company, your title is correct, but then fully filling out this section again, filling out the vertical space. You want to take up as much space as possible. You want to list in your accomplishments, list in some things that are relevant. This doesn't have to just be strictly from a job standpoint. Like, we're using your network to build out your profile and connect with new people. We want to make sure that when they click on you, are you the expert in your field? Do you have the solutions to the problems that they have? Do you have the knowledge of the industries that they work in? So they very may well click this and expand it out, and also click on your company. And if your company link is broke, is that going to affect somebody connecting with you? Probably not. But why not just make sure that everything is clean and updated, right? Just from the get go. You need to focus on doing this. So making sure that that's filled out, going back to the previous company that you were at, or the other company that you're at, making sure that that's filled out correctly. Any other companies that you have, making sure that this, like, I got lazy here and was just like, dude, I'm just filling out the last few companies that I've owned. And but then this one is a little bit more in depth. So it's like, you can fill out as much as you want, going back as far as you want, but you want to make sure that it's filled out, that it's going to be relevant and be applicable to whatever it is that you're trying to push. If you're trying to show that you're an expert in the field, then you're going to want to prove that by saying, like, I work in these industries, I do these technologies, I've helped solve these problems, and all that information in there. Getting out of the experience standpoint, let me go back. Okay, so experience. After that, you're looking at education. Put in whatever education you want there. Make sure it's filled out. Adding the skills is cool. Like, it's not super popular to do and push on and be like, I've got 99 plus people that have said that I'm good at this skill. You don't have to do that. But one little hack you can do is, if you're trying to get attention from somebody on LinkedIn and they're not responding to you, they're not engaging with you, going into their profile and clicking that you want to endorse that person for that skill, that gives them a notification, right? And then they're going to say, who just endorsed me for this skill? So listing out skills, it's more important that you're paying attention to other people's skills, people you're trying to provide value with, people you're trying to connect with, and click that you endorse them for that skill, because it brings attention around you, because they will see your name, click on your profile. Maybe they forgot who you were. Maybe they're connected with thousands of people and they don't know who you are. But having some basic skills in there is fine. From like a recruiting standpoint, job change standpoint, I even still think that this part doesn't matter. There's people out there that are updating LinkedIn profiles that'll say, oh, you got to update all this stuff. I would say skills is probably the least on my list. Recommendations, if you can get recommendations from people, great. Publications, if you've written anything in any public places, articles in magazines, digital stuff, all that stuff, you can add that in there. This is one of the things, like, we went through a process back in 2018, 17, and updated my profile with publications. We have not kept up to date with it. It's not super important to add that, but it is a little bit of bragging rights. And then going into your interests, companies that you follow, groups that you belong in. So right now, groups are super powerful. So I'm part of 27 groups. This is a significant amount of people. You want to make sure the groups that you're belonging to are relevant to what it is that you guys do. And you also want to understand, you can join a group of 3 people if you think that it's going to get bigger, but don't focus a ton of your attention on a group of 3 people. If you're trying to build out your network from a sales and marketing standpoint, join these groups so you can post in these groups, so you can engage in these groups. So right now I'm in 27 groups. We post to these groups all the time, content to help people grow. Some of them are bigger than others, and some of them I like more than others. But updating that interest in the groups that you're in. A lot of groups are private. The good ones are going to most likely be private. They need some sort of authorization for you to join it. And those groups are great to be able to push your brand even further. So that sums up kind of like the bulk of the profile. Now, what are you going to do next? What's the next step that you're going to do? I'm going to remove my screen from it. So what's the next step that you're going to do after you've updated your profile, after you've gone through this process? What do you have to do next? Now it's time to build out your network. Now it's time to go to that LinkedIn Sales Navigator video that I sent you, that we're going to post in the comment section and show you, and link to that to show you exactly how to build out your prospect list. Literally everybody, if you're in B2B, everybody that you want to talk to, everybody that you're trying to engage with, everybody you're trying to do business with, they're on LinkedIn, and they're so easy to find because you can find a company, expand it out, click through and look at all the employees in that company. And it's so easy to do. as long as you put in the time to do it. So in that video, I break down what to do step by step. For the most part, after you've updated your LinkedIn profile, you need to focus on spending like 30 to 60 minutes a day going out and finding new people to connect with, and then 30 to 60 minutes a day focusing on engaging with that network, because it's not just a one-sided thing. You don't want to turn this into, I connected with somebody, they accepted my connection request, now I'm going to try and sell to them. It's all about providing value, building value, engaging with them. You engage with their content, they'll engage with yours. You're really trying to build that relationship to hopefully solve problems for them in the future if you can. In the past 2 years, I've made $1.6 million from LinkedIn, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. For those of you that are new to the content, all I talk about is industrial marketing, industrial sales, but who am I? I've been in the industry for 23 years, engineering, sales, marketing, own an agency for the last 8. The way the show works is I'm going to go through the topic, go through the content. You guys need to leave some comments in the comment section, ask questions, give feedback, etc. What is this over here, Kyle? I know you're wondering, what's with this set deck? We got some, I don't even want to touch it because this thing's going to fall. It's so pretty. We got some coffee here, shop floor coffee, built by manufacturers for manufacturers. If you guys drink coffee, you need to get yourself some shop floor coffee. You're going to be seeing a lot of this. It's a newer brand, only for industrial companies. The names of these different flavors is ridiculously funny, very fitting for the shop floor people. You can see a lot of content about this on our channel because we are the marketing partner with it. We're pushing it out hard. So if you guys are interested in coffee, put a comment in the comment section below saying that you want to test it out. Maybe we'll do a raffle or a giveaway. Maybe we'll send out some free coffee bags. We got ground coffee and fresh bean coffee that you got to grind up yourself. That's too bougie for me. I'm more of like a, dude, I'll do that instant coffee, but I'm going to try this stuff out. And so far we did 1 pot this morning and this thing was fire. So if you guys are coffee connoisseurs, check this out. Put a comment in the comment section below saying, I want to try that stuff, and we'll put you on a list. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about leveraging LinkedIn for industrial marketing. This is a topic that we talk about so much, LinkedIn. I have so much content about LinkedIn, and we have not talked about it live in a while, so I figured, hey, let's just give away all the secrets, the tips, the tricks, and some things that I never talk about are going to be discussed today, so you better tune into it. All right, so number 1, we're going to talk about switch over. We're doing purple today? All right, let's go. Let's go purple. Number 1. The why. So how many of you people on the live right now or in the replay are currently using LinkedIn as your marketing strategy and you feel like, dude, I'm hook, line, and sinker. I am going after this stuff. Put it in a comment section below. If you're part of that, put a 1. Put a 1 in the comments and say, yeah, I'm going in. If you're not, put a 0, and I'm going to dive deep into why. Here's the why behind this. And this is where it's missed so frequently by people. Every single person, as long as you're not going after like small mom and pop shops, very small businesses, every single person you're trying to go after is on LinkedIn. And you can find them by searching their company. And for the most part, you go to their company's people, and then you can find who it is that you need to talk to. It's so simple. It is the database that is updated regularly. Just think about this. When people get a new job, they update their LinkedIn. A lot of people find jobs from LinkedIn. But their LinkedIn profile is their like resume to the world, sales and marketing wise. Salespeople out there that are trying to use LinkedIn to leverage, which we'll get into how to use it for sales. You're trying to use it. You reach out to somebody and they're like, I don't know you. I don't know you from anybody, but they can look at your LinkedIn profile. They know where you went to school, how long you've been in a job for, how many successes you've had. All of that stuff they know by your LinkedIn profile. So what is the importance of that? Well, I think you all agree with me that number 1 rule of sales is you have to build trust in order to close a deal. If you don't establish trust, you cannot close any deal. They have to trust in you, and they have to trust in the product or the service that you're offering. What a better way to do that than have a 24/7 trust building thing out there, which is your LinkedIn profile. So not only can you go on the offense, find the people, find the demographic, find the companies you're trying to go after, but then as you're engaging with them, they look at you and they're like, yeah, I trust this guy. He's saying these things. He's doing these things. He's been in the industry for a long time. I'm going to trust this guy, trust this girl. That is the beauty of it on LinkedIn, is that it's just out there 24/7. So going into the why even deeper, the why behind why people are not using it. Let's talk about that. People typically just use it as a directory. That is a traditional way. They're just like, hey, I'm going to search, find the person, then pick up the phone and call them. That's not the way to do it. You got to stay within this platform. First step, and I talk so this is, I'm going to show you today exactly what has taken me from 500-600 followers to over 22,000. I'm going to show you how we built out company pages, how we get a 12x impressions to followers ratio on company pages, clients that we manage. I'm going to show you how I made $1.6 million off of LinkedIn in the last 2.5 years, strictly from this strategy that I'm going to lay out. I'm going to show you how our clients pay attention. Some of our clients, the salespeople, pay attention closer to their LinkedIn messaging inbox than their email or their phone, because this stuff just works. Depends on your industry, depends on who you're going after. It may not work the exact same level, but I promise you, any minute that you spend on LinkedIn will be at least a 10x multiplier in revenue for you. Number 2 is update your profile. And update / company page. Update your profile on your company page, all you out there. And here's why. Most of you guys out there, you've got like job experience and the school you went to and all that stuff. That's cool. But before we send a ton of people to view your stuff, you have to give it a quick update. And no, I'm not a resume builder. And you can find people on LinkedIn that are like, I'm going to create the best LinkedIn profile for you to get a job. Cool. I'm going to teach you how to make the best profile to make money. That's what it all comes down to. Get attention, make money. That simple. The number one area, you have to look at your headline. Your headline is right underneath your name. By default, LinkedIn puts your current job position at your current company. That's cool. But if people don't know who you are, what you do, or who you work for, what do they care? If you're like, I'm the sales manager at abcpipingsupply.com, that means nothing to them. If anything, that's going to hurt you because they're going to see sales up. This dude wants to sell me something. This girl wants to sell me something. This person wants to market something to me. I'm not going to connect with them. Step 1, update that profile. Your headline should be relevant to what it is that you do. Problems that you solve, something that's relevant. Put some vertical bars, some dashes, however you want to lay it out. Look at my profile. Look at other people's profiles in the space that have a lot of followers. See how creative they get with their headline. That is step 1. Here's why. People send you a connection request, and all they see is your picture, your name, and your headline, and that's it. So as it's coming through, just think about from your own POV. When you click My Network at the top of LinkedIn and you see all these people sending you connection requests, you're gonna base a lot of people. So I get a lot of connection requests every single day. So I base it just off the name, the picture, and what they do. And I usually say no. Ooh, this person I want to click. So you need to make it relevant to who you're going after. If you're selling, let's go with the piping thing. You're a piping supply salesperson that sells stock pipes for whatever application. You want to say helping industrial companies with their pipe problems or with their needs for their PVC piping, like helping industrial companies, not selling to them, helping. Make it more about them and less about you. So that's step 1, update that headline. Step 2 with your profile, and it's just everything else, you need to update your About Us. You need to put a background image behind you. It does not have to be something specific to the company you're working for. It could be anything that's relevant to you. If you like snowboarding, put a mountain with you snowboarding. If you like fishing, put a river that you fish at. The background, the image that's above your head in your profile. Update that. Everything needs to be updated. Your About You, your job, what you've done at your job, featured links. Just go to my profile after you're watching this, go to my profile and just look out how I have it built up. Things I'm interested in. The About Me section with some things that we've done. The featured links section with some specific videos that I have on there. My job title, my position, my accomplishments, my history, et cetera, skills and features and all these things. It's completely built out. So build it out. Look at mine. Look at other people that you admire. Look at other people in your space that you feel like are producing a lot of content and getting a lot of engagement, getting a lot of followers. Look at how they built out theirs. It's not just marketing person at this company with nothing underneath it. You need to blow that up. You need to use your profile as a marketing tool, as a sales tool. So blow that up by writing stuff in there. What have you done? What does your company do? What are you guys best at? It's a value proposition statement. People are looking at your stuff. You want to drive them to the website, make some money. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that some people are like, no, I don't want to do that. That's fine. You don't have to do this part. I think it's the best part is make your stuff public. So you can edit your public profile, and I turn everything on. You can see my name, my headline, my company, my photo, everything publicly. Indexable on search engines, etc. If you're really in this, if you're really trying to make moves and trying to use this as a tool, make it all public. And also, edit your URL. People usually don't do that. I'm like, why wouldn't you edit your URL? By default, LinkedIn will say Joe-Smith-1234 through 10 with characters to it. Edit your public profile to just say first name dash last name, or first name and last name together, or first initial and last name, something that's relevant to you. You can change that by editing your public profile URL. So that's getting into update. Does everybody agree? Like, update your profile. It's just like building a company. You can't sell or push a service until your website's up there, because you're going to get all this attention around something that's broken. Fix that profile and your stuff won't be broken. Number 3, now we're getting into the details, because everybody's like, oh, I already know that. Update my profile. Grow your network. This is where the rubber meets the road. How are we going to do this, Kyle? How are we going to grow our network? We're going to grow our network a couple different ways. Number 1, get Sales Navigator. It's like $79, $99 a month. It is well worth it. Now, back in the day, and I said back in the day, like 6-7 years ago, you used to be able to do some things on LinkedIn by default, the normal LinkedIn, with filtered searches. They moved a lot of the good stuff away and pushed it into Sales Navigator because they want you to spend money, right? LinkedIn's free. Upsell you, spend money to get Sales Navigator. Here's the power behind it. List building, saving companies, saving leads, and doing strategic filtered searches. I mean, I'm talking, you go in and you say, I want to see companies at these industries in this geographic region with this many employees that have this type of technology or these keywords in their company profile. And then you do that from an account standpoint. This is the key. Start with accounts. Don't start with people. I'm going to tell you why. Start with accounts. So you get Sales Navigator, sign up. It's going to ask you all these stupid questions, right? Save some companies, save some leads. We want to try and work the algorithm around. Okay, usually the companies that they offer up are not relevant to us or any of our clients. So get through that spot, go into the accounts, do a filtered search. Start building lists. So I'm going to do a filter search for people in mining and metals, chemicals, plastic packaging and containers. I'm going to create this search, 51 to 200 people, 500 to 1,000 employees, 10,000 plus employees. Depends on who you're going after. Do this search and hit save. You want to save the search because you can go back and create multiple save searches. As you go through this search, you need to save the company specifically that you want to go after. This is not a shotgun. This is not a spray and pray. This is not a just go after everybody. You want to save specific companies. This should take you not much time. As you're scrolling through it, on the right-hand side, you're going to be like, company name, description that they have. Maybe you have to hit the see more, save or not save. Save them to a list. So you hit save. Do you want to save them to a list or just save them to the regular list? No, I want to save them to a specific list. These are machinery companies. These are plastics companies. This is what marketing and salespeople should be doing every single day, is working through Sales Navigator. So you build out this list. You go and save these accounts as leads. These are people you want to go after. Save them to that list. Go through. You get 50, you get 100, you get 200. Like, don't be like, oh, Kyle, I don't have the time to do it. This is going to work. This is going to transform your hunting, prospecting, network building, revenue, income for yourself if you invest the time in doing this. I promise you that. We do this every day here. We do this for all of our clients too that are signed up on that program. It works. I teach our clients every single week. I'll have 12 salespeople at a company and they're all making good money. And I'll be like, you guys need to be doing this with LinkedIn. They start doing it 6 months later, like, oh, game changer. So you build your lead list for accounts. And here's why you don't go after people first. Here's a little trick. When somebody works at a company, by default, their profile is going to say they work in this industry because it's attached to this company. But as they leave that company, if they don't update their industry that their person profiles is in, then it is not going to update on their profile. So somebody can go from chemicals to textiles to plastic packaging and containers. You're like, I'm going after chemical companies, and I'm going after people in the industry of chemical companies. And this person, they haven't been in that industry for 6 years, but they never updated the industry to match their company. So you're going after them like, dude, I have nothing to do with chemicals anymore. I'm in plastic packaging and containers. I'm in transportation and logistics. I'm in makeup, skincare now. I left that industrial world behind. I'm not the commodity manager, director of engineering, operations manager. That's not me. Not for that industry. I'm doing this other thing over here. So you got to start with the accounts. Save all these accounts. Then from there, you're going to find people at these accounts. So then when you go into the lead list on Sales Navigator, then you go and you say, show me people, but you toggle a little button at the top. I know you guys are probably like, can you just do this as a tutorial or like a walkthrough or something like that? If you guys want me to walk you through this live with my screen shared, then put I want to see it live or something like that in the comment section, and we'll create a little webinar group, a little private group of people, public to no one, private group of you guys, and I'll do a live webinar to walk you through this exactly. But back to the training. Go into leads, toggle the button that says only show from saved accounts from this specific list. Cool. So now I'm looking for people at that. Now I go through the people, job function, title, seniority, all of that stuff. But you can go after what school they went to if you want to try and be like, hey, we both went to the same school, man. Let's do business together. You could try and do that. I've never done that before, probably because I also didn't go to school. So maybe that's why. Maybe if I did go to college like most people did, then I'd be like, hey, Baylor, right? Isn't that where you went? Yeah. Riley went to Baylor. I'd be like, hey, man, we went to Baylor together. Or like Mason went to A&M. Like, let's go Aggies. Let's go Aggies. So I didn't do that, so I don't play with that, but you can. And so once you get these filtered searches and these filtered things, and you want to save that list. So now you've got a saved account list. Now you've got a saved lead list based on those accounts. That's going to come back with people. There's a secret button that you want to toggle in the filters. Now, if you're looking at the filters on the left-hand side and you're like, there aren't a ton of filters, there's somewhere, depending on how your layout is, there's somewhere where you can say, click all filters. I want to show me all the filters. Within those filters, there's a secret one that I don't know why they don't just put this at the top. It's way at the bottom where it says posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. Maybe it's just post on LinkedIn now. It used to be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Posted on LinkedIn. Why is that important, Kyle? Why is it important for me to connect with people that I'm trying to provide value to, market to, get them to use our product or service because I believe that they will get some benefit from it. I believe it'll make their day, their life, their job easier. Why is it important for me to say post on LinkedIn in 30 days? Most of you are thinking, duh, because it shows that they're active. So if I send you a connection request and you haven't been on LinkedIn in 2 years, it's just going to be hanging out there. And I do that 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Out of those 10,000 times that people are just like, they're not on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's going to look at your stuff and be like, I don't want to push this person anymore to these connection requests. I'm going to say like, dude, you're being too spammy with this because nobody's accepting your connection requests. So lowest hanging fruit, posted on LinkedIn. If you didn't write that down right now. Posted on LinkedIn. Your list is going to go from 5,000, 50,000 people at these companies, these accounts that you saved. It's going to go from that down to like 30% of it, 20% of it. These are the people you want to go after first. Because if they're posting on LinkedIn, I know what you may be thinking like, oh, but they're a maintenance person. They're an ops person. They're going to post on LinkedIn. They actually do. They share the company page stuff. So you're just trying to look for the lowest hanging fruit. Who's active on LinkedIn? Posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. Now it goes into the fun part, which is sending connection requests. There's 2 ways to do this. The traditional way is going to be go through right-hand side, click connect, add your custom note, which is like you can do it one at a time and say, hey, Joe, I do this, and that. Thought you get some value out of it. Hey, would love to connect with people that you know. Don't use the stuff that like when you Google search it, it's like AI generator. Like you need to say company name and I love what you're doing and these improvements that you had. None of that stuff works. It sounds cheesy. It comes off as cheesy. It's like, hey, we work in the same space of machinery. We work in oil and gas. And I thought I'd love to connect with you. Super simple, direct to the point. Go through, connect, send the message, paste it, connect, right? That's the traditional way of doing it. Here's bonus tip number 1, super secret. You can automate this. I have automated this for years. Now, I send out one-off connection requests. When I come across somebody, I'm like, I want to connect with that person, send it off, write a note, etc. I do that, I don't know, 20, 30 times a month. But the bulk of it is through automation tools. If you guys want to know the specific tool that will not break your bank, I'm not talking about a $500 a month solution. I'm talking about super minimal. If you guys want to know this tool, put a comment in the comment section and say, I want to automate. And we will send you guys the tool. There is no affiliate. There is none of that stuff. It's just this is what works for us right now. This specific tool. And it's so cost effective, but I don't want to go through it because I'll end up getting banned. So we can't do it on this live, but if you want it, let us know. I'll have one of my sales guys in the comment section, send you a DM after the show and get that over to you, that link. And then we're going to create some tutorial videos for it as well. Because we're just trying to help you guys out, right? This is a tool that you can use to blow up your revenue in your pipeline if it's done properly. So let's recap real quick. Number 1, update your profile. Headline is most important. Number 2, grow your network. You got to put time into this. Get Sales Navigator. It's worth the $99. Build account lists based on your demographic, multiple account lists, right? Save those searches for those accounts. Once you got them into saved searches, now you're going to save them as leads, account leads into lists. It just pops up. You click save. Which list do you want to put this to? A little pop-up to this list. Save them to those. Once you get the account saved, then you go into the leads and say, I want to only show me people, because they could just call people leads, only show me people that are in this list. Put their criteria in there, job function, seniority level, whatever, right? All that stuff. Put that in there, save that. But don't forget to toggle that button that says active on LinkedIn or post on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Now you got a list. Then you're going to send the connection request to the people. You can do it this way, one off if you don't want to spend a little bit of money. Less than $100 a month to automate it. But here's a cool thing. Even with the tool, you're going to need to have Sales Navigator to do this effectively. So you need to have it. So just go down the path of doing it. And then if you want to know, put a comment in the comment section below. I want to automate. We'll get you hooked up. That's the building the network part. How fast can this happen? So you can send out 100 LinkedIn connection requests a week. All the third-party tools know that, understand that. You don't want to get flagged as spam or anything like that. So you can send out 100 a week. That's the cap. It used to be unlimited. I remember back in when I moved to Texas from Chicago, 2018, I think it was, 17, 18? I think it was 2017. I forget. 2018, 6 years ago. I would do a search on my phone because at that time, mobile had the best quickest way to send connection requests was on mobile. So I'd do a search on my phone with the filters, with the criteria, and then I'd hand the phone to one of my kids, and they would scroll through, and I'd say, all I want you to do is scroll and hit connect, go through the list. And they would do that. I would send out 1,200 connection requests in like 35 minutes. And then people accept it, about 35% of people are going to accept it within the first 2 days. The rest of the people, they're not interested. They're not on LinkedIn. They don't check their requests, etc. Then I have to go through and uninvite them a couple weeks later because I don't want it to look like I've got all these pending invites. It used to be 5,000. You used to be able to have 5,000 pending connection requests at any point in time. Oop, reach my ceiling, go in there to the sent connection request, undo, withdrawal 1,000 of them one by one, no automated way. This is how I built my network. And then tools came along, made it a lot easier. So that is what you need to do. I want you to invest. Like, Kyle, how much time is this going to take me? I would say like 30 to 60 minutes a day you should be spending in Sales Navigator, in LinkedIn, figuring out who you're going after, sending connection requests. Now, if you use a third-party tool, then you can spend less time doing that. You can spend more time up front building these lists and let the tool take over and then go in and check on it. But 30 to 60 minutes a day, so 5 hours a week. I do it on the weekends too. Build your network. Next thing, number 4. Number 4, engagement. This is not a one-sided conversation. As much as you guys would love to just click on something and have them sell to you, this is not a one-sided engagement. What I mean by that is do not build your network, send them a message right away and say, hey, want to buy something? Does not work ever. Sometimes you just send them a connection request and they're like, oh, shoot, this guy's relevant. This girl's relevant. They do something that I'm interested in. Timing is there. The stars align. And they're like, hey, actually, I was looking for something that you guys do. Are you open to a call? They come to you. That can happen. But the times of you being like, I'm just in sales mode, man. I'm just a salesman. I'm going to sell it. It doesn't work at all, ever. Once in a blue moon, don't hang your hat on that. What this needs to be about is you're trying to build a network and a community of people that you could provide value to. So think about if your North Star is, I want to impact and influence people in this industry, in this space, right? So for me, I'm trying to provide as much value as possible to the industrial, manufacturing, sales, and marketing world that I possibly can. A smart man once said, I think it was Alex Hormozy, said, give away for free what others make you pay for. So if my free content is better than paid content, I know I'm on the right path. So we just give it all away for free. Because most of the time, most people don't have the team, don't have the patience, don't have the time to take care of things. So when they come to us and have us do it, we give away everything for free. Nobody gives away as much content as we do. So I'm trying to build a network here. I'm trying to help as many people as I can in a niche that I know the most about. So you have to go into it thinking that. If you sell tires, if you sell machining services, you're like, I want to help engineers design their parts to be more efficient for manufacturability. Maybe that's something that you want to do. I want to make parts that are repeatable, that have the highest level of tolerance, etc., that go on SpaceX, go on satellites, go into aerospace parts, whatever it is, right? Whatever your mission is that you're trying to do. Whether you're a business owner or a salesperson, you believe in the mission. And so with that, you want to go and say, how am I going to impact people? What am I going to do to be able to get them to have some value? So if you're like, I'm going after engineers, what do they need? What do those engineers need? What do the ops people need? What's 2 things that you can do for them today that can help them out? Give them a tip. Relate to your product, your service. Hey, here's something that just happened in the shop today. You guys that are designing parts out there, make sure you do it like this. Hey, look at this. We're trying to machine this part. Hey, look at this. We're trying to mold this plastic. And just so you guys know, to go from a 60-second cycle time down to 35 seconds, you need to do more structural integrity behind the part to remove the plastic weight, and it can save money and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's so many different possibilities. I could give out 20 right now and pretend I worked at 10 different companies. It's all about providing as much value as possible. So you're building this network, people that you want to go after to help. Then you can market to them your services to really help them, right? You believe in your product, you believe in your service, but you have to engage with them. It cannot be send a connection request, sell. Send a connection request, hey, do you want to buy? Do you want to sign up for my newsletter? I've got this new thing I'm doing, and just use it like that. Send a connection request, let them accept it. See what they post and engage on it. Like, comment. Here's the crazy thing. Most industrial people do not get a ton of engagement on their posts. So if you're going after purchasing, ops, engineering, if they post something natively, usually the comments on it are very minimal. I'm talking like less than 10, sometimes 0. You're the first person to comment, they're going to be like, who is that? Oh yeah, that's right. I just connected with that person. That's the type of mindset that you have to have. I want to be the first person to comment. I want to like their post. There's people that watch these lives and engage in our content every single week. I don't know most of these people personally. I haven't met them, most of them. But if you don't think that if that person needed something that I can provide to them, that I wouldn't give it 100%, whatever it is, I 100% would. Because I'm providing value to them. They're providing value back to me. It's a 2-way street, right? I go live, I share some content, they like it, they comment, they do something on my posts, etc. That's building that community, friendship. That's what it's all about. So you have to provide something of value, engage with their posts. Every single day, I would say 30 minutes a day. This is something that you should not look to a third-party tool to just be like, go ahead and I'm going to create a chat GPT that does this and that. I'm going to do some automation thing that's going to like the last 20 posts I've seen. Don't do that. Make it more personal. But go through your feed 30 minutes a day. and engage. I want you to engage with things that are relevant. Put a comment in there, like it. Maybe you say, set it on your calendar. I want to do this 30 minutes in the morning. I'm going to do my prospecting and my hunting around lunchtime, an hour during then. I'm going to do 30 minutes in the afternoon. I'm going to engage on people's posts. Put it on your calendar, block that time off. You have to engage with your network. Engagement's where it's at, right? Don't make this one-sided. All right, number 5. It's blank on my computer, but I just thought about it. What's it going to be? Laura knows my content so well. So we talked about why, profile update, grow your network, engage, and then Laura's got goose eggs. Now let's sell. Right? That's what it's all about. Market, sell, make some money. How do I turn this, Kyle, out? So you just want me to engage with people and then they're just going to come to me? No, you need to, once the relationship's right, this is when you go into a sales mode. So you've connected with people, you've engaged with their stuff, you comment on their stuff. When the timing is right, Kyle, when's the timing right? Oh, probably like a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, depending on how much you're engaging with them. Just say like this. Hey, Joe, if you ever need something for your pipe distribution, your pipe manufacturing, if you ever have some machine components that you need done, let me know. That's it. Short, simple, to the point. If you ever have a need for X, Y, and Z, let me know. Here's a link to my calendar. Would love to help you out. You don't send a brochure. You don't send a link to your website, a product thing. You don't do all of that stuff. You keep it short and to the point because you're trying to help them. You're trying to solve a problem. You have to go into it saying, I'm trying to solve a problem with this. And in order for me to do that, I need to provide value first, ask questions second, and then offer up a solution. But the sales on LinkedIn is less of like a direct, like I'm going to do a message, an automated message system, right? So those of you, like I said, third-party automation, how about sending direct messages to people strategically that are off of a list that you create within your networks, first-degree connections, and you send them all thank you. Thanks for being a valued connection. If you ever need something, let me know. That can be automated. So if you guys want that, say, I want to automate, put it in the comment section below, and we'll get in touch with you for free. But the selling is less direct selling, and it's more of like a, hey, if you need something, let me know. Like I'm in the room, but I'm not approaching you trying to sell to you. It's like the soft sales. It's like selling without selling. There's also some people would be like, if you give enough value, right? So any of you that read books, marketing, personal development, sales books, stuff like that, Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Give, then ask. A lot of times you don't even have to ask. You just give enough and people are like, ooh, I want to provide something back. Hey, can I use you for this? Can you help me out with that? So you're trying to give as much value as possible when it does come time for that ask. And that book was written back in 2009, 2010, still applicable today. Give value first before you ask for anything in return. When it does come time for that ask, keep it simple, direct, to the point. Do not continuously do it over and over and over again for months and months and months and months. So I would build out a campaign if I was managing your profile. After I get the connection request, I would send a message thanking them for accepting my connection request. Then a week or two later, I would send them something of value. Maybe a day later if you have it. A guide, a book, a white paper, a case study. Not a case study that's touting why your product is better than your other competitors. Something you solved the problem for a customer, like a good case study. You've got a link to a video you guys did. There's some tool that you have, a calculator, whatever. Send that to them. See if you get any feedback, response from it. Then in the meantime, engage with people's posts as they come through. And then 3, 4, 5 weeks later, be like, hey, thanks for being a connection. If you ever need anything about this, let me know. Maybe you follow up a couple of times over like a year. But in between those times of you following up to sell, you are producing content, pushing it to them. Hey, Joe, here's a video we just did highlighting a new facility that we got with these XYZ capabilities. Great. Send it over to them. Now, maybe your company has a marketing partner like MFG Tribe, and we do all that stuff for you. We do the company page posts, we create the videos, we write the articles because I have degreed engineers on staff here in Austin. And we do all that for you to where the salespeople, it's so easy. They're just like grabbing something out of the library. Oh, look at this cool video they just did. Let me grab that and send it to these people. It makes it so easy for the salespeople when you have an agency that's focused on industrial manufacturing. This is all that we do, helping out the marketing department. You just produce all the content, let your team distribute it. After we teach them how to do it, let your team take over. So in between each of those times that you're asking, right? So imagine your calendar, let's say quarterly, you want to go in for an ask. Then in between that, you need to at least send 1 or 2 pieces of valuable content. And not like a press release, we just did this, we're going to be at this show. But like, think about the power of this. Is like, you're going to be at a show. You're not asking for them to do anything. Hey, Joe, if you're going to be at FabTech 2024 Orlando, let me know, man. We'd love to have you come by. Like, you use it straight through the DMs. You don't just take the people's information, say, this is who the contact is, go into Zoom Info, Seamless AI, something like that, pull their contact information, then just go straight email marketing. Keep it in the platform. The stuff that could happen in the DMs of LinkedIn, sometimes stuff you don't want to know about. Sometimes I've seen stuff and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. But you can work some deals, set up conversations, set up meetings. I've had some very high profile people in industrial, like very high profile, message me on LinkedIn asking for meetings or saying, hey, let's talk about something, collaboration. And I'm like, how does this even happen? He could email me. You can find my email. No, straight through the DMs, more personable. This is what it's all about. You're trying to build your network with relevant people you're going after. Then all the stuff that they post, their company page posts, whatever, is in your feed. You're liking and engaging on their post, plus their company page post, plus you're commenting on it, plus you're going into their company page, just posting something and being like, oh my God, love this new thing that you guys are doing. You should check out this product that we have, like a shameless plug. Do it on the company page. Do it. Go to that post, comment it. Usually not a lot of comments on company pages. Comment it, link it back to your website. Hey, have you guys ever thought about this lubrication point for your chains and hoists? We would love to show you this. Link back to your product. It's getting crafty like that, but keeping it in LinkedIn. So all that's working, then you start direct messaging people, right? You're providing them with value, you're congratulating them stuff, you're endorsing them for their skills, all those things are happening. Then you go and you say, hey, if you ever need anything, man, let me know. If you ever need something with these products or services, not sure if you're aware, but we do X, Y, I'm in charge of X, Y, Z at this company. If you need something, let me know. And just sit back and watch it work. Watch them engage back. Thanks for letting me know. Shoot them a video. That was cool. Thanks. Like if I scroll through my DMs, the conversations that have happened just out of thin air are ridiculous. I post a video. Somebody's like, hey, I came across your YouTube channel and these things have helped change my life and X, Y, and Z. I'm now going after this. I've had people comment, oh, I didn't want to go into sales. Now I do because you're talking about industrial sales. Or I'm in marketing. I want to get into industrial marketing because I love it so much. Some lady last week talked about that on live. So it's like I'm trying to provide as much value as possible. And if I go to a specific industry, a niche, a president, marketing manager, salesperson, say, hey, you ever need anything with industrial marketing? If whatever you're doing isn't working or you want to have a strategy call, let me know. Here's a link to my meeting request. Like that's what it's about. This is the power of LinkedIn. Keep it within the box of LinkedIn. Take it outside when it's appropriate. But you got to use this every single day. So let's go a quick recap before we go into the comment section. Hopefully there's some comments here. We got comments, guys? Yeah. So they're shaking their head. Yes, we got comments. Hopefully you got some comments to go through and some good questions because this is when it gets crazy. This is when we go down past some rabbit holes where we get into some weeds of some technical stuff and I just lay out the tactic. So you want to, number one, understand why. Agree with it. Even if you're like, I don't know, Kyle, dude, yes, do it. LinkedIn is important to you. You could find a job. And we don't even go into personal branding and what that could do. Just straight up, you want to sell and market to people out, this is what you need to do. That's the why. Second, update your profile. We'll do a separate, if I need to, do a separate video on how to update your profile. Build out your network. Talked at length about that. If you guys want the third-party tool to work on that, put that in the comment section below. We'll get you hooked up with it and teach you guys how to use it. It's amazing. And maybe you guys are already using it, but we'll teach you how to use it more efficiently. Number 4, engagement. You got to engage with these people. You have to every single day, 30 to 60 minutes a day. Do it on the weekend. You'd be shocked at how many people are on LinkedIn on the weekend. I'm getting connection acceptance requests. I'm getting connection requests on LinkedIn. I'm getting comments to posts I did on Tuesday, on a Saturday or Sunday. People are on LinkedIn on the weekend. Different mindset, but they're on there. That's the engagement. And the fifth one, go to the board, sell. How are you going to sell? You're going to sell the way I told you to, which is, is my head covering it up? No. Go to the board, sell. That's where you want to do a soft sale. You ever need anything, let me know. Hey, here's some tools. Here's some tricks. Here's some case studies. Here's some white papers. Here's some videos. Here's some guides for you. I'm just trying to help you out. What's one thing that kept you up at night with your supply chain? Let me see if I have a resource that can help you out. And I'd be like, you ever need anything, man? I'm here. It works. So guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for giving me your attention for the last 56 minutes. Hopefully you got some value. I've got the team through the window giving me the thumbs up. Love to see that. And I will see you on the next one.